Imagine a telescope that was so strong that it could see back to the beginning of time, when galaxies were first formed at the very edges of the universe. That's what scientists have with the James Webb Space Telescope, a very advanced tool that lets us see into the very beginning of the past of the universe. Scientists recently looked at one of Webb's deep field images and saw a huge area of nothing but light points. They think that each point of light might be a galaxy or something more strange. Scientists call them splodges, and one of them stood out because it was shining brightly against the dark background of space. What this thing was not was something else, something strange. It was so bright that it was almost impossible to explain, even though it was very far away. It could be seen in some of the telescope's oldest data. Usually, things that are so far away are very faint because they are so far away and the universe is expanding. But there it was, shining brightly and going against all ideas and expectations. Astronomers knew they needed better data, more clarity, to understand this bright object, so they couldn't just ignore it. So, they used spectroscopy to find out more about the object's light and figure out what it was hiding. Spectroscopy gave them the most accurate information about its location and makeup. That's when they proved what seemed almost impossible. It really was one of the farthest galaxies ever found, if not the farthest. This wasn't just a faint light in the distance. It was a signal from the very edge of the universe that could be seen. It was a window into a time that was hard to imagine. They knew that this galaxy wasn't meant to be there. Not only was it very bright, but it also made scientists question everything they thought they knew about how the universe began. Webb was solving a huge number of mysteries, and this was just one of them. In the past few months, the telescope has taken pictures of strange objects spread out in the great emptiness of space. These aren't galaxies like we know them. They're so different that even the most skilled astronomers can't figure them out. They found thousands of these strange items in a single deep field image. There are some that don't look like any known galaxy or cluster. They are like separate entities, and experts have no idea what they are. It's not enough to just put these things into groups. The fact that they exist calls our present cosmological theories into question. With each new view and piece of data from the Webb telescope, scientists learn something about the early universe that doesn't fit with what they thought they knew. What we know about the universe can't explain these results. It's like we're seeing a completely different form of it that we can't even imagine. Scientists have used a timeline that says the universe is about 13.8 billion years old for decades, so this is very surprising. This idea says that galaxies slowly came together in the billions of years after the Big Bang. But Webb has seen some strange structures from the early universe that don't fit that timeline. They are too big, too bright, and too developed. Nobel laureates and other top scientists around the world have said that we might need to rethink everything. Some people are now very sure that the universe didn't start the way we thought it did because of the finding. It's almost like the so-called early universe isn't early at all, but something else, something we haven't thought of before. We might have to change the beginning of time. Truth be told, this is very far-fetched. The lambda cold dark matter, lambda CDM model, which is the normal cosmological model, is what we use to understand the universe. This model says that dark matter and dark energy control the world and shape how it works and how it changes over time. The things Webb has seen, though, don't fit this picture. These things are way too big to have formed so early in the history of the world. Lambda CDM says that the materials that were available at the time couldn't have been put together fast enough to make things that were so big. If these things really are galaxies, they would have to have eaten up all the normal matter around them, which is something we don't think is possible based on what we know now. They look like they've skipped billions of years of cosmic development and just showed up fully formed. What if these aren't really galaxies, though? Scientists are thinking about this question right now. What if these are completely different things? Things that don't fit into our existing groups or frames of reference? Our ideas about how galaxies form and the very nature of cosmic history are called into question by this finding. The Webb telescope hasn't just found a few strange things. It's shown a whole world of things that can't be explained, which calls into question the basis of current cosmology. There is a chance that we are seeing things that can't be explained by any theory. If this is true, it will have an impact on science for years to come. We've known that the universe is expanding for almost 100 years, ever since Edwin Hubble made the groundbreaking finding in 1929. Space is getting bigger, So each galaxy and star is moving farther away from us. But this growth isn't happening in a straight line. It doesn't have a clear starting point in the universe. Nothing seems to be moving toward you from anywhere in the universe, even if you're in the middle. An interesting fact about cosmology is that the universe doesn't have a center in the usual sense. It's growing in all directions at the same rate. As you learn more about this effect, the fact that it is speeding up makes it even stranger. The fact that galaxies far away are moving away from us faster than galaxies close by suggests something very strange. Imagine being able to use the Webb telescope to look into the deepest parts of space. As you look farther away, you'll see galaxies moving so fast that they seem to disappear into the dark of space. The Hubble sphere is this line where galaxies move away from us at the speed of light. Once they cross this line, we should never be able to find them again because they are going faster than light can return to us. But then something unexpected happens. More and more galaxies beyond this limit can be seen because space is expanding faster and faster. It is possible to see galaxies that shouldn't be possible because the Hubble sphere is growing. This cosmic trick of light and space is one of the most amazing paradoxes in the universe. It lets us see beyond our wildest dreams. The visible universe, which is about 92 billion light-years across, is still the edge of this very large horizon. The universe goes on past this point, and there are galaxies and stars that we'll never see. When we look to the edge of the universe that we can see, we do see the cosmic microwave background, which is a wall of faint light. This light is the remnants of the Big Bang, when the world was very young. In every direction we look, we can see a picture of a time when atoms were first made and light started to move freely through space. Back in the day, this background light shows us that the universe was hot, dense, and full of energy. It grew and shrank slowly over billions of years to become what we see now. But Webb finds something amazing when it looks into these faraway places. The JADES GS Z13 galaxy is the oldest galaxy that the Webb telescope has ever found. It seems to have been around when the universe was only 290 million years old. This galaxy is pretty much frozen in time, since it is now outside the limits of what we can see in the universe. From our point of view, we see it as it was a very long time ago, a glimpse of a world that has changed a lot since then. It might have combined with other galaxies, changed so much that it can't be recognized anymore, or stopped existing altogether. Its bright light used to shine right at us, but now it's too far away to ever reach us again. Think about how big this idea is. The universe is bigger than anything we can see, and it's full of galaxies, stars, and other things that we will never be able to see. From Earth, we can see this limit, which is the edge of the universe that can be seen. If there were clever beings spread out across the universe, they would see stars and galaxies that we humans will never know exist. The standard model of cosmology says that about 14 billion years ago, the world we can see and everything beyond it were all squished into a single, very dense point. This point is called a singularity. But if the world has always been infinite, which it seems to be, then it is infinite now. The Big Bang wouldn't have happened in just one place at the start. It would have happened everywhere at the same time. The first galaxies didn't form in just one place. They appeared all over the world. It's not like matter formed in just one spot. It happened all over the universe. But this thinking is being called into question. Recent findings made by the Webb telescope are making scientists rethink these ideas. They thought that the first stars and galaxies would be at the edge of the universe that we could see, where there would be a faint glow. Instead, they found strange, bright things that don't seem to belong to any known group. These things are a lot bigger and more fully formed than an early galaxy should be. A lot of notes have been made by researchers, but they can't figure out what they're seeing. Even a study that came out recently in the Astrophysical Journal hasn't helped to explain these strange results. Researchers found 87 possible galaxies that could have been around just 200 to 400 million years after the Big Bang. Models we have now say that this shouldn't be doable. One of the study's writers, astronomer Dr. Jing Yan, said that even if only a few of these galaxies are proven to exist, it would completely change how we think about how galaxies form. The find makes it seem like galaxies may have formed much earlier and much faster than what current ideas say. However, how could matter come together so quickly to form structures that are so thick and heavy? One especially strange thing is a galaxy that is so different from other galaxies that it breaks every rule about how galaxies form. Most galaxies are made up of gas, dust, and other things, and only a small amount of this stuff turns into stars. Despite this, the Webb telescope has found at least 3 galaxies that have turned almost all of their material into stars. Our current understanding of the universe doesn't allow for such a thing to happen. It's thought that a galaxy's atoms can't all turn into stars. This strange event makes us wonder not only how galaxies are made, but also what the universe is made of. Now, some scientists think that these things might not really be galaxies. They might be something else, something that doesn't fit with what we know about how the universe is put together now. But if they are galaxies, the Big Bang model, which is a cornerstone of modern science, might not work at all. In such a short amount of time, how could the Big Bang have made galaxies like these? How could it have led to things that go against the very rules of how the universe evolved? No one really knows the truth. These things are a huge scientific puzzle that goes against everything we know about the universe.